Well, at a certain point, you mentioned when you were a kid, you didn't really get into trouble, but at a certain point, I believe once you became an adult, you got into some serious situations.
Yeah, man, as I caught my first pistol case at 18, didn't go to juvenile, so I was cool up until I turned 18, so I was an adult, so mommy can't come save you.
Right.
Caught a pistol case at 18, caught another pistol case, ended up fighting a homicide case for a few months. Just dealing with the shit, the stuff that go on in the environment, man. Just being a product of my environment.
Yeah, when you talk about, I've talked about this with other people before, even on this podcast, but something like a pistol charge, I guess in the eyes of the court, that's considered like a violent crime, damn near, right?
Yeah, but the first one, your first pistol charge is a misdemeanor.
Well, okay, it's your first offense.
It's your first offense.
But for your perspective, I'm sure it's more like a self-defense situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Or like feeling like you had to keep it on you for...
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, it get wild. So it's like if you don't, I was taught there's better with than without.
Right. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that over the years.
For sure.
Do you feel like that at the time you got in those situations, you understood what type of consequences you would be looking at?
Yeah and no. And I say that to say it's like when you carrying a pistol, you don't think about the consequences for real. You don't think about it till you gotta think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like you just go with your day as just normal. Like it's a normal day. You grab your gun, however you choose to carry it. You ain't thinking about if I get caught with this, I'm about to go do some time. You ain't thinking about it till it's time to think about it.
Or the consequences of actually having to use it.
Yeah. People don't understand, like, it's different. Like, using that thing is a whole nother ballgame.
If you could relive those situations over again, is there anything you would do differently? Just being more mature and having more understanding now.
When I caught my first pistol case, I didn't listen to my first mind. I told myself to leave it in the house right quick and then come back and grab it. But I just being cocky, not even tripping, like, man, I'm not leaving it. You know what I mean? And then as soon as I left out my house, like 10 seconds later, I ended up getting pulled over by the police. Like, it happened that fast. Yeah, so it's like, listen to my first mind.
Sometimes I feel like when you get caught for shit, it's like it's your time to get caught for shit.
Like, stuff be happening, like, I don't know. Like, stuff be happening, like, in the craziest ways, and you would be like, dang, if I didn't have it this time, something bad, it could have went worse. Right. Or if I did, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta pay attention to the signs of life, for real.
Right. So when you were fighting the homicide, you were in Bruno?
Yeah, I was in Bruno.
Okay, that was the first time being...
That was my first time really sitting in jail for that long. I did 4 months, so I never did longer than 2 days before. But it was rough as far as like mentally. Like I'm saying, I was in there with all my partners, so it was cool in that aspect, but mentally it was taking a toll on me a little bit because I was away from my daughter for real. That was the only thing that was bothering me. But I knew I wasn't about to tell her nobody or nothing like that to get out the situation. Hey, man, that's what we signed up for. And, you know what I'm saying? No turning back now. So
yeah,
it just was what it was.
Well, also, so for those who don't know, San Bruno is San Francisco's county jail.
Yeah, county.
I believe it's the oldest jail in California.
Nah, so it's a whole new one. They rebuilt it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's closed down now.
Okay.
It's a whole new.
But that was the...
That was. Yeah, that was.
Okay. Yeah. I only went to Bruno to visit somebody. I was never a guest. So your baby mama was expecting while you were locked up?
No. My daughter was 3 when I went to jail.
Oh, your daughter was already born.
Was 3.
Oh,
but when they came and got me at the house, she was there. She remember that to this day. She's 10 now. She still remember that.
Yeah. So that time, you get your missing moments.
I missed her 3rd birthday party.
Yeah.
I missed her 3rd birthday party, and I was sick by it. She was 2, actually. I missed her 3rd birthday party.
Yeah. When you actually got out, was there a feeling like, I got to do something different?
No, it was a feeling like, I'm that nigga.
He was feeling good, like,
it was a feeling like, ooh.
The case.
It was just like, people don't, I don't know, that breath of fresh air when you walk out that county feel a little different.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because my lawyer, when I was getting out, she had came to see me. She said, don't get out of here feeling like you that dog. Like, you know, get out here with a level head, don't get too cocky.
Wait. So let's dive into that. What gave you that feeling? The fact, like, was it a reputation type of thing? Was it the fact that you did your first little small bit and handled it? Was it just the fact
it's the fact like you come up from up under it. Like, you know, usually people either don't come from up under it. Most of the time they don't, or they take a little time and it just felt like, ooh, you kind of feel like unstoppable for real for a minute. But then it's just like your first little moments, like, ooh, I just walked that off.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I ain't had to tell them nobody. I ain't had to do nothing faulty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like
you were mentally prepared that you might end up.
Yeah, I told my brother, he was telling my man, if they offer us 9, we gonna take it. I said, you gonna take it by yourself. They gonna have to give me every bit of time that I do. I'm not taking nothing.
You took it to trial?
No, but I ended up beating it before we even got to trial.
Okay.
Yeah, I ended up beating it before we got to trial.
Okay.
They didn't want to go further with it.
No, it definitely must have been a good feeling then.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah. But at the same time, it was like mentally, it felt good to beat the case, but at the same time, it was like, now I was so cautious. So I was like, also like, I like, you know, like you ask my girl, anywhere we go, it's like, I'm extra, like, you know. And she, like, females don't be understanding that. Like, why you like this? Why you move like, man, it's like, you know, any second could be your last second. You gotta pay attention.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like this, it's serious. And now I know, like, it just helped me to understand that life is serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention to every single detail of life, for real. You can't ignore no signs.
Yeah, how old were you when that happened?
I was 25. I just had turned 25. It was like 2 weeks after my birthday, I went to jail.
Yeah, that's pretty young, man.
Yeah.
That's a good time in life to learn a lesson like that. Like, this ain't no fucking game.
Nah, for real. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, it just be like, man, life throws stuff at you sometimes, and, you know, it's however you choose to deal with it. It's however you choose to deal with it, man.
Those are the situations that make you who you are.
Situations, like, you know, most of the time we don't really choose the situations that come at us. So it all depends on how your situation go.
Absolutely. I like this conversation, bro, because I think it's important for people to understand the reality.
No, for sure.
Things.
For sure.
Very often, these types of situations are glorified.
Ain't nothing to glorify, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for real. Like, you know, growing up, like, when you in your late teens and your early 20s, like, we brainwashed to feel like everything that be going on be cool. But as I got older, I started to realize, like, man, like, boy.
Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay. Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay.